If you've been trying to change your identity and you're doing identity shifting work that you're learning on YouTube or in personal development books and it's not working for you, I'm going to show you in this video why it's likely not working for you and what you can change immediately to start getting results and truly shift your identity. And I did this from my own personal experience and I've helped a lot of clients with this. So to start out, the first piece of semi-flawed advice that I hear on YouTube is people saying act as if. Now, this is better than no advice, but I'm going to show you how to do it even better. And that is when you're acting as if, you're not vibrationally the person who's actually going to get the result. You're acting like an actor. So when you think about someone in a movie, if they're like Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie The Aviator, he was pretending to be this guy who flies planes. And so he wasn't actually being a pilot. He was acting like a pilot. So he's not actually getting the result. He's just pretending. And so one is you're just looking like it and you're trying to make yourself feel like it, but the other is the person who's actually getting the result. So to give you an example, instead of if you wanted to be an author or a YouTuber or whatever, whatever it is, instead of acting like the thing, you want to say, I'm going to be that moving forward. Like literally in the choice of me saying, I want to be this, moving forward, you're going to think, you're going to feel, and you're going to take action as that person. Meaning, in this situation, if I wanted to be an author, what would I do? I would probably just start writing because that's what writers do. So that's what you would do. You just take the action and then the thoughts and the feelings will follow. And so now on to the second one. And this is something that a lot of people do not cover, and it is so important. Look, by the time you're 35, 95% of everything you do is an unconscious pattern, habit, or behavior. So that means if there's something you want to do that the current you hasn't been getting that result, there's only 5% of you that wants to get that result. 95% of your unconscious patterns, habits, and behaviors are committed to you getting what you've gotten in the past, and that is not what you want. What you want is the new result. And so what we need to do, instead of just focusing on the changes we want to make and the things we want to think, the actions we want to take, and the way we want to feel moving forward, we have to become conscious of the unconscious. Carl Jung has one of my favorite quotes, and he says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it'll direct your life and you will call it fate. And he's speaking about the 95%. So we have to become conscious of these unconscious patterns. We have to sit down and write out pen, paper, or on your computer, preferably pen and paper. It seems to sink in better for most people. But write out, what are my thoughts on a daily basis? What shitty thoughts do I think that affect how I feel each day? How do I feel each day? How do I feel when I wake up? How do I feel when I'm at work? Or how do I feel when I'm working in my company? Or how do I feel in my relationship? Become aware of the thoughts and the feelings, the stories that you tell yourself throughout the day. Oh, this isn't going to work for me, or this is too hard, or I always fail, or whatever it is. And then be aware of your unconscious actions. What are you doing each day? What are you doing? Because when you're looking to change your behavior, and this is something I say to clients all the time, anytime you get yourself to do what the old you wouldn't do, you're winning. Because the old you would do some old pattern that gets you the old result. And if you can get yourself to do some new healthy choice, I know it's going to be uncomfortable because that's the reality. We're changing behaviors. It's going to be uncomfortable. And so I want you to know that if you can just get yourself to do that, just the fact that you got yourself to do it, you're winning. So be aware of that. And so moving forward, be as if you want to become conscious of your unconscious thoughts, feelings, and actions that you've been taking, because then when you notice them coming up, you get to choose in that moment. Whoa, I'm thinking how I used to think. No, I'm going to think this new thing. And you start to think the new thing that you want to choose moving forward. And now that comes to the last point, and that is don't wait to start changing when things feel right. The absolutely best time to begin changing your identity is when you don't want to. Because that is the moment that will prove to you that you're truly being the thing. Anyone can try to be an author or be a YouTuber or start their own company or whatever it is when they feel inspired, they feel all lit up and everything else. It's easy to be that person then. But this here's the difference. The difference between someone who's a runner and someone who's trying to become a runner is that on a foggy morning when they wake up and it's 6 a.m. and it's time to go for a run, when the person who's trying to become a runner gets up, they look out and they say, oh, it's kind of wet outside. And, oh, my sneakers, oh, I left them in the car. I don't know. And they're just thinking about all these things that are going to stop them from doing that because the conditions aren't perfect. And the difference between them and the runner is the runner gets up and they just run. It doesn't matter what it's like out. It doesn't matter if their shoes are elsewhere. None of that matters because they identify as a runner. So therefore they just do the thing. So this is one of the best ways to begin to break the pattern of being the old you, or as Joe Dispenza would say, breaking the habit of being yourself, your old self, is that when you don't want to do it, like right now when you're watching this video, you know what you really want to do. There's something you want to do that it's your passion project or whatever it is, go do it now. I don't care how you feel, just do it because the action towards that will begin to create the new identity because the old you wouldn't do that. And anytime you do something the old you wouldn't do, you're winning. So just these 3 points moving forward, realize instead of acting as if, be as if. Write down what are the thoughts that this person has, this me has, what are the feelings this me has, and what are the actions that this version of me takes moving forward. What does he or she do moving forward? Next one, become conscious of your unconscious. Be aware of what have my thoughts been in the past. What are those limiting beliefs, those thoughts, those negative weights that I've been carrying around? What are those feelings and what are those actions that have been holding me back? Maybe you're eating unhealthy food, or maybe you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram Reels instead of actually working on your YouTube channel or whatever. And then the last one is do it when you don't want to do it, because only then do you actually begin to shift your identity. Because until you can begin to start doing it when you don't want to do it, that's when you're shifting your identity. And now I want to give you a real world example. This is me right now. I'm in my studio, my office. This is my last day in this house. I'm in the middle of moving. I'm literally hopping on a plane tomorrow and I'm out of here. I'm no longer in this house. I have a million things to do. And I haven't made a video in a while because I've been dealing with life and had all these excuses. And then I realized, what the hell? Like, no, this is important to me moving forward. And I have not been doing this. So even though I had people around me telling me it was an ambitious idea to, on my very last day of the move, to make a video, I'm making a video because this is a part of me building that identity moving forward. I love giving people the insights, the knowledge, the awareness, and the tactics to really make a difference in their life and figure out who they really are and where they want to go. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I'd love to help you in whatever way I can. And figure out what it is that you want to do, what your next action is, and literally go take it in the next 5 minutes. And if you do, you're winning.